Hey, this is Peter and welcome to another Take a Break with Valley CAD. In a previous video, we talked about telling SOLIDWORKS how to make a custom weldment profile and utilizing configurations to control the sizes of it. Well, now we need to do the next step. We need to tell SOLIDWORKS where to look for that custom weldment profile location. So get your favorite cup of coffee or your favorite cup of tea and let's hop on over to SOLIDWORKS to do the next step of telling SOLIDWORKS to use that custom weldment profile. See you over there. Hey there, welcome to SOLIDWORKS. So you'll see on my SOLIDWORKS screen here, I have a simple sketch that's on my front plane. This sketch is set up for it's 24 inches tall by 36 inches long. Okay. The only reason why I added this on here is in order for the feature structural member to work, in Weldment, you have to have an existing sketch already in here. Okay, so that's why it's there. So now that we got that taken care of, what we need to look at here is telling SOLIDWORKS to look to that new folder location of our custom weldment profiles. So this is how we go about that. And you know what? Time out. Before we even go in and start showing how that works, kind of need to understand what do the properties mean when you're working with structural member. So let me go ahead and start up structural member for us. And you'll see here, if you've already been playing with weldments, you'll see that you have a standard, a type, and a size. You're like, what does that mean? Well, if I come here standard, we're like, hey look, here's the ANSI inch. Under ANSI inch, okay, let's do a rectangular tube. And underneath that we have a size, okay, 4 by 2 by quarter, cool. Click there, right? Starting to add my structural members. Pretty sweet. So what do these different selection types mean for you as you set up your folder location for SOLIDWORKS to look to so that you can use your custom weldment profile? This is what it actually means. So reactivating structural member, I'm going to bring over my file explorer as well. What I want to do is actually tell SOLIDWORKS to look to this folder called weldment profile location. That right there is actually going to live, imagine where this yellow box is, imagine that it's right there. Then underneath that is where your first folder is, and it's called standard. I named my folder here standard just for the sake of matching with what the properties say. You can name it whatever you want, okay? I'm going to simply double click on standard. That'll then take me to the rectangle bar SOLIDWORKS library feature part. This is my weldment profile. That's actually going to live under my type. Then underneath type, you'll have size. Because I made this weldment profile utilizing configurations, each of those configurations are going to show up under my size. Okay, so as I stated in that last movie about working with making your own weldment profiles and utilizing configurations. And once again, I do recommend moving forward as you make your own profiles, utilize the configuration route. The main reason is because if you kind of look beyond my window here, it's kind of grayed out. You see structure system. SOLIDWORKS structure system features require configured weldment profiles. So if you want to utilize structure system, you have to use weldment profiles that are configured. Okay, so that's why we went at that route. Okay, so now we look at this, we see our standard is going to be our standard folder. Under type, it's going to be the part file or the SOLIDWORKS library feature part. And then you'll have your size, which are going to be the configurations. Cool. So now let's make SOLIDWORKS look to this location. So I'm going to simply just move this guy off to the side. I'm going to get out of the structure member command and come up here to where my sprocket is. This is where we can activate our options. You'll see here that I have two tabs. One of them is going to be structure system and the other one's going to be document properties. What we're going to be working under is system options. System options controls all of SOLIDWORKS. Document properties only controls the current document that's up. For instance, right now, part 6 is my current document that's up. So all these items would pertain to only part 6. All right, so now we look at system options here. We are working through having SOLIDWORKS look to a certain folder location. Well, if you look at the left side of your screen, about halfway down, you'll have file locations. Simply click on that. This is where you can actually set up SOLIDWORKS to look at all folders or files that are on your system to help SOLIDWORKS run smoothly. What we're going to do is under document templates, that's where it sets up for your template files. So like whenever you start up a brand new part file, templates. We're going to click on that and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And you'll see a thing that says Weldment Profiles. Simply click on that. From here, this is SOLIDWORKS' way of saying, hey, if you're going to activate structural member and you know you had your standard, type, size, that's all based off of this window here. So I'm going to click the add button. And because I've done this video a couple times, a couple takes, SOLIDWORKS kept a memory of the last place that I went to. So that's why you see that here. So as I stated, I want my Weldment profile location to be at the very top. So remember where it was a yellow bar in the properties, that's where that lives. So that's the location I want it to look to. I'm gonna say select folder. Okay, so with that, you see desktop, Weldment profile location, awesome. I'm gonna simply say okay to that. You're gonna get an update here saying, hey, are you sure you wanna do this? Things are gonna get changed. You're gonna say yes to that. You're gonna see the screen black out here a little bit, and that's Windows 10 user account control coming in saying, hey, are you sure you wanna do this? I'll ask you to do that twice. Okay, so don't worry, just say yes to that twice. If you do not have admin rights, you will need to work with your IT team to get that set up for you. All right, so now we're going to come up here to structural member. Simply click on that. And under my standard, I should now see standard, right? Because that's that first folder. Under the standard folder, I have that one library feature part that's called a rectangle bar. And then underneath that, I have my size. So I have a 1x3, these are all the configurations that I made when I made that Weldment profile. So I'll do a 1x3 on there. I'm going to set up my groups. I'm going to simply click through all these entities to create my box frame there. And if you remember when I made this Weldment profile, I purposely made that rectangle to where I went from midpoint to midpoint with the center lines. Here's the reason why. If I come down here and I look at my sketch shape of that Weldment profile, you'll see those center lines there. Now if I scroll down and I say locate profile, you'll see here that I can utilize those endpoints of those center lines. So I can say, hey, I want it so it comes in right there. So now that's shifted so everything is inside and bisecting on that framework. Simply say okay to that and we're done. So once again, we set up SOLIDWORKS so that's looking to the right folder location for your new custom Weldment profiles. Just like with your part templates and other items that you make custom, it is recommended that you do not save those in the default SOLIDWORKS locations. Make your own custom folder. It's just simply called like SOLIDWORKS templates, or for instance here at ValleyCAD, we have it ValleyCAD SOLIDWORKS templates. And in there we set up our Weldment profiles, we have our design library, we have our part templates and assembly and drawing templates, all living inside of that folder. That way when we upgrade to the next version of SOLIDWORKS, we just simply take that folder, do a copy of it, and we just rename it as ValleyCAD Custom Templates 2021 or 2022, and we tell SOLIDWORKS to look to that location. All right, hopefully you got something pretty awesome out of that, and you get some excitement of making your own custom Weldment profiles, and also telling SOLIDWORKS to look to those right locations. So hopefully you enjoyed your cup of coffee or your cup of tea, and enjoyed this Take a Break with ValleyCAD. Have a great rest of the day, and make sure you learn something new.